exercise our ability, exercise our mindset, mentality in such a place, getting our energy in a place where what happens around us doesn't have an effect on what's going on inside of us. That's where we start asking ourselves these types of questions. That's where we start getting down with the energy inside of ourselves. What truly matters? What is it that you can do to get to the place where you want to be, to go through the challenges that you want to go through? And so this is what this is all about. We're going to go ahead and set this for 60 minutes. Different networks, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope. Got them all on live. So what is it? What are the challenges that you're facing off against? You know, what is it that if you were able to get within yourself, that you were able to get down with yourself, you're able to ask yourself the questions, is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. And so this is one of those times, today's the 6th, and a lot is going on around us, but what matters the most is what's going on inside. How your mentality is, how your ability to be yourself, that no matter the outcome, still the ability to be you is there, still the ability to be the person that you are inside is there, that the challenges that you actually face off against, the things that you go through on a daily basis, don't have an effect over you, that the person that you have going on inside has the mentality, has the ability, that when we go within ourselves, it's what we create. It's the world that we create. It's the ability for us to be ourselves, to face off against the things that nobody else will. And as we give ourselves that permission, as we give ourselves that place, as we give ourselves that ability, it's going to start to break down to your energy. It's going to start breaking down to your ability to focus, your ability to get inside of yourself, your ability to truly be who you are on the inside. And so each's mentality is important, each ability is important, each challenges are important. And so what kind of world are you creating? What kind of mentality are you putting out there? What kind of energy are you vibrating? And so how do we start to focus to that place? How do we start to read and understand our energy? How do we start to get there? I often do energy readings for people. I read the energy inside to understand, to get to that place where it doesn't matter what's going on around us. It's truly what's going on inside that matters. It's you and your challenges that you face off against individually. It's not what somebody else can do for you. Remember, it's what's going on inside that matters the most. It's what you believe about yourself. It's what you know about you. It's what you become. It's what you manifest. It's your understanding of your challenges and your ability to sit down with the tools that you have so you can overcome the things that nobody else can do for you. And a lot of people put it onto something else. They put it into a different place instead of look inwards. Doesn't matter how many handicaps they put in front of you. It's what you believe about yourself. It's when you go inside of yourself. It's when you start to manifest from within. You start to focus to that level. You start to get to that place where you have that ability, that you're able to continue no matter the challenges that are faced off against you, no matter the things that work against you. It's what's going on inside. It's when you're sitting down by yourself writing stuff down. It's when you're putting your own goals, your own dreams, your own ability to be yourself that matters the most. It's with that place that we start. And we have to give ourselves permission to start there. We have to give ourselves permission to go through those kinds of challenges, to put that kind of writing on paper, to put that kind of writing in the ability for us to see it for ourselves, to see it, to start to manifest it, to start to face off against each own individual challenges, that it's not going to come from the outside, it's going to come from within. And so as we focus, as we give ourselves that place, as we give ourselves that kind of permission, the manifestation starts to happen, the ability starts to happen. You start to see that you have the ability, no matter the situation going on around you. It's what's going on inside. It's when you put yourself in a room by yourself, or you go into a forest where you are by yourself, that matters the most. It's when you give yourself that kind of time to have that kind of place inside of yourself that matters. And a lot of people rely on other things. They rely on other people. They rely on other challenges instead of look inside of themselves. They don't look at what they do have. They don't look at the blessings that they have. They don't look at the abilities that they have. That the challenges have come for you to see the positivity in them. They've come for you to have the ability to manifest light. That your level of focus, no matter the situation or the challenges that go on around you, it comes down to how focused one is, how willing one is to get down with that level inside of themselves, down to that place inside of themselves, down to that level of light. And so as we focus there, we have to start putting those things in order. We have to start putting those things in their place. We have to start giving ourselves that ability to sit down with what we write down. Sit down and study it. Sit down and put it in front of ourselves. Sit down and give ourselves that kind of permission. A lot of us don't do that. A lot of us don't give ourselves that place. And then when plans don't work out in our favor, we fall apart. That's not what it's about. Ask yourself how many years you have been alive. How many years have you been on the face of the planet? How many challenges have you gone through? How many things have you gotten to the place where the focus comes from within, where the manifestation is a reflection of focus, where it is a reflection of motivation, where what you have inside is you? Have you given yourself the permission to be there with you? Have you given yourself the place inside to have that kind of light, to have that kind of energy, to see that you are a tool in the universe, that the challenges that you face off against are worth it, that the things that you go through daily, weekly, monthly, they're meant for you. They're absolutely meant for you. They're meant for you to overcome, to have a positive mentality, to have a positive ability, to have a positive understanding that you can dominate your life. You can dominate your being. You can be who you are inside. That manifestation, that understanding, that reflection, understanding from the universe, the ability to utilize this thing that we have that's greater than any given person, any given place, that manifestation that comes from within you, that beauty that you have that nobody else can take from you, that focus, that when you close that door and you are by yourself, it has nothing to do with anybody else. That's what it's about. It's about you versus you. It's about you understanding you. It's about you getting down with your own challenges of your own light, your own being, your own level of focus, to where it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, that you're going to turn every situation that you face off against into a positivity that is going to manifest itself, that your knowledge is that it doesn't matter what happens on the outside, it's what's going on inside. And so this is a place where we start to get to that place. It's where we start to have that kind of foundation. It's where we start to have that level of focus, that it doesn't matter what is going on around us. It's what's going on inside you. It's what you sleep with. It's what you do in your day. It's how you live your day. It's how you live your week. It's how you live your life. It comes from your mentality. It comes from your ability to see the positivity, to choose positivity in the challenges, to choose positivity when you see positive and negative forces working in your favor, when you start to see that even negativity can start working to bring you towards positivity, that had to happen so this could happen, so you could start to see it, so you could start to understand it, so that you can start to manifest it. It's with that level, that mentality, that we give ourselves that place to elevate, to give ourselves that place to see that we can see the positivity in every single challenge. And how do we start to get there? We start to study how to. We start to put the tools in place. We start to put the ability in place. We start to recognize that it doesn't start when you start. The start is the beginning of the path. It's the beginning of the journey. It's the beginning of the ability. It's you sitting down with yourself, writing stuff down, putting it in front of yourself, not for somebody else, but for you to see it for you to listen to it, for you to allow yourself to not allow the things that are happening around you to affect the person that you are inside. It's with that kind of mentality, it's with that kind of place that it doesn't matter what happens on the outside. It's with that kind of place where what is going on inside becomes a reflection. And that's when other people start to see you as a motivation. They start to ask themselves the question, ask yourself this question every day. Am I focused to the place where the reflection is radiating that of motivation? Where I ask myself every day the question, am I motivation in the universe? Not in a single person's eyes, in a place in our mentality, in a place in our ability, in a place in the energy inside. Am I focused? Am I in a place of foundation? Am I creating my level of understanding, my level of being coming from within? And so when you have nothing, you have more than anything in this world because you are selfless. All you have is you. All you will ever have is yourself. That is the blessing. That is why it's worth it. That is why this journey has a path. It has a purpose. It has a place. And so inside of that kind of understanding is where no matter the place around us, we're not shaken. It's from within ourselves that we give ourselves that kind of permission. It's within ourselves that we give ourselves that kind of place. It's within that self that we start to build positivity. It's where self-positivity starts to become the energy that drives you. It's where self-positivity starts to become the place of reflection. It's when other people see you blessing as a light in the universe. It's when other people see you as a being in the universe, as an ability in the universe, as a blessing in the universe. Very blessed, and I want to uplift other people. I want them to know that what matters is what's going on inside. What matters is what's going on with you. What's going on with your challenges is what's going on inside of you. It's not what's going on around you that matters. It's how focused you are. What do you want to achieve? What dreams do you want to fulfill? What challenges do you want to overcome within yourself? And so as we focus, we start to recognize that is a place of technology. That is a place of being. It's a place of seeing yourself on your journey. Ask yourself, how long have you been alive? How many challenges have you gone through? How many things do you want to overcome? And so as you see it for yourself, as you give it for yourself, the place inside of you, and so as we each free ourselves of that, as we give ourselves that ability, as we face off against those kinds of challenges, I want you to remember how long you've been alive, how well you can focus. Put it in front of yourself to achieve it, to become it, to overcome these challenges with one's mentality. Let's start vibrating with an ability to focus to the place where we see the motivation no matter the outcomes. No matter what happens, what matters is what's going on inside. And so are we focusing to that place? Are we giving ourselves that kind of permission to radiate energy of positivity into the universe? Are we giving ourselves that place to see that these challenges have nothing over you or I? What matters is what's going on inside. And so have you given yourself that permission to have a foundation of focus to where nothing has the ability to derail you? Nothing has the ability to stop you. Nothing has the ability to slow you down from your ability to be yourself. Your ability to have that kind of mentality, to have that place, comes from how well you can focus no matter the challenges that you're faced off against. And I want you to see this as a positive time, that the challenges that are coming here, and that they are not here to stay. They're here to pass. They're here for you to see that you can make it through them. Look at how many years you've been on the face of the earth. See yourself as a positive force in the universe. See your journey, see your path as a place, as a blessing in this universe. That you can do it, you can achieve it. And that your mentality can shut off the things that aren't for you. You can shut off the things that other people would say. You can get to the place inside of yourself where you can build your own world. You can build your own mentality, where you can choose to be positive no matter the outcome. That is to be on your journey. That is to be on your path. That is to go through your challenges. That is to build the energy inside. It's meant to uplift you. It's meant to bring you closer to positivity. It's meant to bring you closer to your ability. It's meant to recognize that there is no challenge that's too great for the one who can see the positivity in all challenges. How does that work? How do you build that kind of foundation? How do you get to that place where your mentality is there unless you start to study yourself, unless you start to write stuff down, unless you start to put it in front of you and start to ask yourself the question, how can I achieve it? How can I achieve my dreams? How can I achieve my goals? How can I achieve my ability to have a mentality that is able that no matter what happens around me, I will still achieve my ability to be myself? Ask yourself that question. When's the last time you spoke your mind? When's the last time you were utilizing what you have? The things that you have, the challenges that you have come from within. And when you vibrate, you go within yourself. When you vibrate, you give yourself that place. When you vibrate, you give yourself that ability. When you vibrate, you uplift other people. And I want you to see that for yourself. I want you to understand that within yourself. I want you to see that when things are taken from you, you gain more of you. When things are taken from you, you gain more of yourself. When you have things that are not working in your favor because you can see the positivity through them, that you start to become a blessing in the universe. That is why you could see the positivity. That is why we should vibrate positivity. We should overcome these kinds of challenges. That no matter what happens, the outcome is still does not change what you are inside. You are always going to be you. You are always going to face off against your challenges. And I would like to encourage you to see the positivity. I'd like to encourage you to see your path, to see your journey, to see your place, to see your understanding within yourself, to start to get to the place where your energy matters, where your being matters, where your ability matters, where your self matters, where your study of your journey matters, that it doesn't matter what happens on the outside, that you have been on your path for quite some time. You have been on your journey for some time. Ask yourself, how many years have I been on the face of the planet? Have I given myself the permission to be on my path, my journey? What have I focused on? What have I put into place? What am I focusing on? Can I start to turn that positive? Can I start to give it a place? Can I start to give it an ability? Can I start to get to the place where the mentality starts to have an able mentality, where you can see what happens around you is just a reflection of your vibration, that it's up to you to turn positive, that it's up to you to give yourself permission for a mentality, to elevate yourself, to give yourself a place for permission from within. And every day I wake up, I ask myself this question: is what I'm about to do today motivating? Is what I'm about to do today self-study as a reflection of meditation? is what I'm about to do today using my knowledge, my focus, my ability to hit a place of discipline, where discipline radiates a reflection that uplifts other people, that they can achieve their own dreams, their own goals, that the challenges that face on the outside isn't what matters. What matters is their level of discipline to be themselves. And every day I'm reminded that the level of focus heats up the energy within oneself, that the level of focus gives us the place where the reflection becomes the outcome from within's one manifestation. And it has nothing to do with what others are doing. It's with you and yourself, you and your challenges, you and your ability, you and the ability to go within yourself, you to have those kind of blessings, to start to see the positivity in all situations. The more one's handicapped, the more abilities start coming out, the more one starts to recognize themselves. They start to recognize that all they have is themselves, that it's not selfish for you to be you, that it's not selfish for you to be honest with yourself, that it's not selfish for you to have nothing less than you. And a lot of people, when I ask them the question, can you speak your mind? Can you speak what you feel? Can you speak your knowledge? Can you speak your ability? Can you see your path, your journey? Can you see your place in this journey? Can you give yourself that place to be positive? They answer me back with, no, I can't. And it all comes down to them allowing the things to move out of the way that aren't meant for them. It all matters to what you allow yourself, your mind to become. It's allowing yourself to have that place where you start to allow the things that are not meant for you to move out of their way on their own. The things that are not meant for you will move out of the way. And as you see positivity, as you give positivity its place, as you search out positivity, that's when the manifestation starts to happen. That is where your path starts to heat up. That's where the universe throws positive and negative forces at you to see if you can turn them positive, if you can put them into a place where you can identify them, where you can start to become them, where you can start to become a positive force in the universe. And a lot of people get stuck on the gateway of good or bad. They start to decide something is good or bad. They remember that it's only one set of eyes when the universe has universal eyes. And it's from within ourselves that we start to focus. It's from within ourselves that we can focus to the place where it doesn't matter the outcome. What matters is what goes on inside of our own journey, our own paths. And that's a much greater story. You have a much greater story to tell inside of yourselves. You have a much greater path inside of you. You have a much greater purpose inside of yourselves. When you can focus past that so you can actually allow the positivity to have the place it's meant to have. When you can see the positivity, when you can start to understand that things that happen around us are not what matters the most. When we focus, what we listen to, how we speak, where we speak, what people do you allow around you, it's all up to you. And the question you got to ask yourself is, when you are around people, are you speaking your mind? Are you letting only the people that are bringing you closer to your positive mentality be there? Or are you allowing them to affect you? Are you allowing yourself to be positive no matter the outcome? That's key here. Understanding that level of focus can come from within. Understanding that you have the ability to see the outcome. When you give yourself the ability to choose positivity, when you give yourself the ability to choose positivity, you could see everything turn positive in your direction. And so even when those things that are not meant for you move out of the way on their own, you see that positivity happening for you. and it can happen within you. But it's up to you to see it. It's up to you to put it in front of yourself. It's up to you to put the work down. It's up to you to have to recognize that you are a tool in the universe. They're all there, including teachings. I was messaged with a message about, I'll have to see your yoga. I'll have to see your yoga is a connection of oneself. And meditation, the yoga is body to breath work. Meditation is breath to body work. So when we meditate, we look at the mentality. We look at the ability to sit down with ourselves and to close off everything on the outside that doesn't matter. To focus to that place inside of ourselves. And so what it means to have a place and a foundation and focus is that this universe starts working in your favor. There's a lot of people that take it and say, 100% creator, 10% me. I know that when you are giving 100% you, this universe starts pulling from places where you would never imagine. When you are so focused, you can achieve things that nobody else could achieve. You can do things that nobody else could do. And that place, that foundation of focus, is where it all starts. It all starts from you, where your ground is. Are you in a place where no matter the outcome of other people, you are still on your path? Where other people can't derail your journey? Where other people can't stop your reflection? Your level of motivation comes from your level of focus. And where is your level of focus is the question that I have for a lot of people. Where is your level of focus? Have you spent the time to write stuff down? To what you listen to the people that you listen to the places that your mentality is? Are you able to elevate past it? Are you able to go to that place where you are a tool in this universe, to where when what you speak out is solid? And I've been solid like this before this even happened. I've been in this place before these challenges even came. And I'm telling you, it works. When I was sleeping in my van, when my wife left me, when I was meditating in a sauna, and I was washing my clothes, and I was delivering food in San Diego, that mentality was still there. That ability to become your best friend is what it's about. To shut off the world, to shut off the things that are not you, to allow your path, your world to be created by you. To you to create your own journey. To understand you have a purpose on your journey. You have a purpose on your path. That throughout time, the poets, the writers, the singers, the artists, they have not been wrong to go within. They have not been wrong to utilize their abilities to overcome their challenges, to overcome their levels of adversity. That they have understood things, and that is where it lays. That you are a tool in this universe. That when you use your path, when you are on your level of focus, when you are ground, when you are focused and your foundation is on your level of focus, that the Most High can utilize you. He can utilize your mentality, your able ability, but it has to be an able ability. It has to be an able mentality. It has to be an able ability to focus to that level, to focus to that being, to vibrate that kind of energy. And what is that kind of energy? How does it start to work within you? How does it start to work around you? How do you start to allow it to become a process where other people can see it too? And so that's what my calling is. My place is to help you to do that as well. Because when I was by myself, when I had nobody, and I was sleeping in my car, and I was meditating every day, and I do meditate. I've been doing it for nearly a decade. I've been doing it since I was 27 and I'm 34. I found myself in a place where I started to realize that the best friend comes from within, that you have your journey, you have your path, that you are yet but a tool in this universe, that you have that relation with the Most High that utilizes you, that you have had a path that started the day you were born. Have you asked yourself that question? Is my path worth it? Have I focused to that point where I can connect it to the simplicity, where I can connect it to the breath, where I can connect it to the ability inside of oneself to get there within? And that is where it starts. It starts within yourself. And when you head inwards, when you truly head inwards, where you truly start to overcome what's going on around you, it's when you start to allow the process of focus to work. The process of self, the process of the simplicity of that breath, the process of that mentality to go inwards, that the student starts to get inside of the classroom. It's with that connection of breath that the simplicity starts to happen, that the tools inside of you start to become a understanding. What a path it is to go inwards. A lot of people seek me out after meditation. They seek me out after the mentality. It's the simplicity of that breath. It's a simplicity inside. It's a simplicity in the being, into the present, into the self, into the story inside that the student comes to class for. It's the student that goes inside of the classroom that starts to understand their energy. It's a student inside of the classroom who starts to get down with themselves, to start to face off against their emotions, to overcome and elevate through them, to get to the place where there is no place for fear inside. And that's what I'm telling you. When you focus to that place to become that kind of student of your life, it's only about your journey. It's about your path. As you allow yourself to focus there, the reflection starts to radiate. It starts to see your level of study, your level of self, your level of being. And as that student starts to absorb, as that student starts to connect with that inwards breath, as that student starts to see their own journey, their own path, ask themselves the question, if your life ended tomorrow, would you have gone through your path and your journey to get to that place where you started to get to down with yourself, to where your energy had a purpose, to where your energy had a place, where your energy had the ability for you to overcome those fears, to overcome those challenges, to see the positivity in your journey, in your path, to where you can excel to the next level, where you can start to get from within, to have that student have its place, to have its centering of oneself, to have its breath coming inwards, to have that place where that breath has this place to set inside of you, where you breathe every day and it is a blessing, where you breathe every day and it has a purpose, where you breathe every day and it is your journey. Your life is a blessing. Your path is a blessing. Your purpose is a blessing. Your seeing and understanding of this comes from when one sits down with themselves, when one starts to ask themselves those types of questions. How long have I been on the face of the planet? Can I overcome this from going within? Can I get to that place inside of oneself where the study, the practice is a manifestation, where the study is an inwards absorption, where that process of focus has its place, where it has its purpose inside of oneself to heat up the energy, the energy which is you, the knowledge which is you, the centering, to be simple inside of the classroom, to be down with oneself to that place, to have those kind of blessings, to have those kind of challenges where you can allow the energy inside to heat up and overcome those challenges. To allow the energy inside of oneself is called liberation. To have the extraction is freedom. And so when we start to have that kind of knowledge, we start to overcome those kinds of things. The light inside starts to heat up as the student starts to gain the knowledge, as the student starts to center one's inside their energy. It's not about what's going on around you. It's about how positive your mentality is to your level of extraction from within. When one understands this, this is why they start seeking me out. Because at a level of understanding within oneself, it's where the book of life starts to open up. The energy fields inside of yourself, the knowledge inside starts to free itself. It starts to ask you, as the external breath goes out, are you able to learn the lessons that we've given to you? The path that you have had, the purpose that you have had, the challenges that you have had. Can you see the positivity in them? Can you see the positivity through them? Can you start to get down with yourself to that place, to that purpose, to that journey where you have a blessing on a daily basis and it's coming from within you? When people ask me this question, they ask me a question. Why do I say blessings? Because I understand it's a process. I understand that when you leave somebody with a blessing and not a thank you, when you leave them blessed, when you put yourself in a place where that process works, the universe starts to utilize you as a blessing and have you realize that you are a blessing in this universe, that you are a absolute blessing, that the mere fact that you're alive, that the knowledge inside of you has a place, that you can overcome a challenge, that we could put a challenge in front of you. As soon as you go inwards, you can overcome that from within. When you start to recognize that, you want to leave other people with blessings. You want other people's purpose to see that you understand the path, the journey that you're meant to be on. And it's when you get there for yourself, where you leave blessings for other people, where you leave it in such a way that you do believe that they become blessed by you being there, that you start to get it. You start to get the process. You start to get the understanding. It's when you liberate other people by blessing them. It's when you liberate other people by seeing that the center of freedom is within you. The center of understanding is to open that energy inside of yourself. The ability to stand your ground, your human organs, your ability to connect with your heart, the universe, this world, the ability to voice yourself, to understand that positivity is a force in the universe that elevates oneself beyond the levels of fight and flight, slavery and emotion, time and organization. Ultimately, to focus in knowledge, and the place of knowledge is within. Is when focus becomes a place inside of yourself, that your inwards breath has a connection. Is when you recognize that you are the classroom, that you are the journey, that you are the path, that you want to leave people with blessings. It's within that place that we uplift each other. It's when they see that kind of inner light radiate that they call it an inner lightenment. It's when they see that kind of understanding. It's when we see those people that have achieved places like Pele, like Johnny Cash, like Elvis, like I could go across the face of the planet and show you examples of people that have reached that place where they allow themselves to become the process, where they allow their level of focus to have a place, where they allow their purpose to overcome their challenges, where their level of focus comes from within and it manifests outwards. I see all things as blessings. I see all things that happen on a daily as a way to see positivity as the outcome. Positivity can come from the place so that you could see that negativity had to come so that you could direct yourself towards positivity. When we recognize it at that level, we start utilizing universal law. Each action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So you seeing those opposite reactions happening so you can see the positivity coming your way, because it can and it will. It's up to your ability to focus to that place to see that level of positivity, that level of connection. And it is as simple as your breath, your inwards breath, your center breath, and your outwards breath, representing blessings within this universe. Recognize it, see it for yourself. As you see that the knowledge has a purpose, that the focus has a purpose, that you have a purpose, you start to connect. You start to understand that learning is an inwards path. Learning is an inwards journey. And as your knowledge and your focus and your whole being become connected, as you allow that place to have a place of discipline, you start to see other people become uplifted just from you being yourself. When you start to get to that place where focus and knowledge is centered, where you are the classroom, no matter where you go, that is why you're a blessing in this universe. Because no matter where you go, as long as you have your breath, you are on your journey. And it's for you to uplift other people with your own challenges, to focus through them, to see the positivity, to get to that place where focus and knowledge are centered, where you truly are in your classroom. You are in your place, that centering of the breath within oneself, where focus and knowledge center the reason why we leave blessings. Because when you see your path, you want to uplift other people. You want other people's worlds to become connected. And when you truly connect your focus and knowledge together, it's going to become centered. And the universe is going to use your level of focus as a process to extract that knowledge of understanding. Now, a lot of people like to call this place applied discipline, which is discipline, knowledge. No, knowledge and focus, applied discipline is inspiration. People connect that to wisdom, connect that to understanding. Because as you understand your path, you bypass, you give yourself that purpose, you give yourself that place. And that is where you use the technology from within oneself to radiate, to manifest. When you uplift other people from being yourself, this world becomes a beautiful place. When you are selfless and you have nothing more than you. And a lot of people get that confused. They consider discipline a place of selfishness. It is not a place of selfishness. It is a place of inspiration. It is a place of discipline for oneself to become oneself, to become a part of the process, to where you are you. And so when you see that, when you see those kind of people, the world changes just from you being there. And when you are that person, when you are honest with yourself in that place, when you face off against those kinds of challenges, and you know you can make it through them, it creates a level of discipline. Each individual deserves that. Each individual deserves their path. Each individual deserves their journey. Because ask yourself the question, how long have I been breathing? How long have I been learning? How long have I had focus? How long have I had knowledge? Have I given myself the place to connect focus and knowledge to a place where I am the classroom, where you are the classroom, where you are the path, where you are the journey? And so each has that right to their breath. You have that God-given right to be you. You have that God-given right to have your breath. You have that God-given right to face off against your challenges and for your mentality to come out as positivity. And a lot of people try to stop that. They try to tell you it's not possible, that you can't go within to that level. And so I'm talking about focus, knowledge, and discipline, and the reflection of motivation, meditation, and inspiration. And right now, we're talking about inspiration as a reflection of discipline. And so a lot of people come to me for that because I've been doing this for nearly a decade. And so it's not a surprise what's going on around, because it's not about that, guys. It's about what's going on inside. You're welcome to call in And I definitely will give some time for energy readings as well. I can definitely read energy within the human being. I've been focusing, I've been utilizing my level of discipline. I've been working on meditation since I was 27 and I'm 34. So I want you to see that kind of uplifting within yourselves. I want you to see that this is a positive focus. I want you to center your energy into your place of discipline, to see the positivity in all things, to see the positivity in the challenges, to see the positivity in the universe, that you are a blessing, that you can be centered within yourselves, that you can uplift yourself, you can get there within that mentality where that focus that you have inside of yourself, ask yourself, can you focus? Can we come together? Can we focus and ask ourselves the question, do we have knowledge inside? Do we truly have knowledge inside? My company, which is in the process of being built, is Motivation, Meditation, and Inspiration. And I'm working on creating a nonprofit because I want to uplift all people. I want all people to see that you could see positivity in all outcomes, that you could see positivity in all from within, that ability inside of yourself is there. I want to show you guys my shirt. I want you guys to see this isn't just from right now. This is from the ability inside of oneself to build. It's for within the ability of one's mentality, that before this thing ever happened, I've been talking about this stuff. And you can check out my website, motivationmeditationinspiration.yoga. And you'll see the days, the weeks, the months that I talk about this, and the people that are uplifted, and the challenges that they go through, and the overcoming that they face off against. The ability to see past good and bad, to see to the point where positivity in the universe works, where positivity in the universe is here for us, where Newton never had it wrong. He had it 100% right. For each action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And so it's up to you to allow the positivity to start flowing in your world. Ask yourself the question, do I want to have a positive universe? Do I want to see all things moving in my direction? Do I want to see the positivity comes in my favor? The mentality has its place. Even biblically, it's written. In the beginning, there was God, and the Word was with God. Okay, so, and people miss out on that and. They ignore that and. They ignore that ability. They ignore that and has a place. And God divided light from dark. Which means at that time when God divided light from dark, he was thinking on a positive force universe. He was thinking on a positive face universe. He was thinking on a place where manifestation comes from within, where manifestation comes from an ability, comes from a technology to see positive and negative forces working in your favor, seeing positive forces working through you, working with you. And he created light workers at that time. He created light in such a way that we could see past the good or bad, that we could see the positive and negative forces in the universe. And it is biblically written. It is provable that if you're positive, the outcome happens in such a way that the manifestation, no matter the outcome, you're still positive. And so that is what it's about. It's about that place inside to have that kind of light, to have that kind of purpose, to start to face the light in our own direction, that things start coming from within. And that is where the energy starts to flow outwards. That is where the energy starts to happen. We start to recognize that you can turn everything positive as long as you allow the things that are not meant for you to move out of your way. You have to give them permission to happen. When you do that, when you give yourself that place, when you face off against those kinds of challenges, when you give yourself that kind of permission, it doesn't matter the outcome. because you're going to still be positive. You're still going to be you. You're still going to face off against challenges. You're still going to be on your journey. So connect that focus and that knowledge so that this classroom can be elevated, where your mentality has a place, where your mentality has a purpose, and that is you. That is your journey. If you are in that place and you're looking for a way to see that peace, I want you to see that you are that peace. When you see that peace on your path, on your journey, when you start to see that kind of understanding happening, that it's up to you to choose positivity. It's up to you to choose your ability. It's up to you to choose your being. It's up to you to face off against things that nobody else will. And as you do it from within, as you give yourself that pace, that purpose, don't allow the things around you to affect your path, your journey, your purpose. And it is a blessing that challenges come. It is a blessing that we have the ability to see the universe as is. Newton was not wrong. Neither was Einstein. Einstein's theory of relativity states that mass and energy are interchangeable forces, which means that the universe and the internal path have a purpose, a place, a journey, which means that energy inside matters. It means that you are both mass and energy. And I want you to become inspired to be that. I want you to see that you are a mass, that you are an energy within yourself, that you have a path, that you have a purpose, that you can uplift other people when you know that you are free to be you inside of yourself. When you know that your tools can work, that your knowledge is sufficient inside of yourself, that you are a blessing in this universe, and that you can overcome things that other people may not be able to. It is within that mentality that you free yourself. It's within that ability that you start to see your blessings. It's within that ability that you start to overcome your challenges. It's within that ability that you start to uplift other people, and you start to see that others can see that light. Others could see that purpose. Others could see that path. And it's for them to become uplifted that your journey began. It was for you to chase your path, your dreams. Ask yourself what your dreams are. Ask yourself if you can become that kind of an inspiration where you leave ripples, where you leave a path that other people know as you. And so as the discipline becomes connected, and it's not on a daily, it's not on a weekly, it's an every single day grind. It's getting that focus and that knowledge to that place where you become centered, where what you understand is that your process is blessing other people. Your journey is blessing other people. Your centered is blessing other people. Your classroom is blessing other people. This is nothing less than a center breath. It's a being. I am a human being. That's why they call it a being, a present being, an internal and external breath, a centering and understanding of the whole being, the whole self. The creator of this universe created this universe in such a way that you could see the energy inside of yourself, even with a heat scanner. You could see the energy inside of yourself, even when other people wouldn't. You could see the energy inside of yourself the minute you take a breath. Why do they say, I don't know if I have enough energy? Have you taken the time to sit down with yourself to start to study your energy, to see where you're getting your energy from, how you're getting your energy, to discipline yourself to that place where this being has a purpose, where this being has a path, where this being has a centering, where this being leaves blessings for other people, where this being uplifts other people from that focus and that knowledge of being this whole entire human being. As we do that, we bless other people. And I'm telling you, you are a blessing in this universe. You have a path in this universe. You all have a purpose in this universe. And it's for you to see the positivity and to uplift yourself. Through doing that, other people will see you nothing less than you. And as I close, I want to leave you all with blessings. You can connect with my YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope, and TikTok. Blessings, blessings, blessings. As always, I want you all to be uplifted as I